Hey, I'm JD. Welcome to my channel. Please subscribe. Please hit like. And I just got a package in the mail that I think has got watches in it. So let's open this thing up and see. Let's see. Now I'm opening it from the bottom because I've got all the addresses and stuff are on the top. I don't want to show on the U of Tube. So there you go. And I will try not to cut myself. I think I did this a couple of weeks ago. And didn't I cut myself? I was opening a box and I just found out the scissors were really sharp. This looks like it's a box within a box. A box within a box. 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 Box is American for box. It's Boston. Boston for box. Look at that. It even had a little bottom thing. Oh, I got the gentleman's name here. I don't want to do that. And I've got, what else do I have here? Let me just see if I can figure this out. Alright, maybe if I dumped it upside down, I probably would have been better off. Oh, there we go. I got a whole bunch of my gentlemen's names here. Yeah, they're all of the return addresses, I think. And there are the watches. And I got names and stuff on there. This guy's got addresses all over the place. Oh, I know what he did. He used all of his envelopes that he gets mailed to him. He used it for packing. So I got all these darn addresses here that are just packing. So I probably didn't need that. I'll have to check and see if anything is revealing. Guy's name is Ralph. That's good enough for you guys to know. So. And here are the pocket watches packed up. And I'm just going to open this one up first, have a look. Try to be careful as possible. And see what the heck this is looking like. I think I can cut it from this end safely. Things are flying all over the place today. And there's watch number 1. That's a big watch. Surprised. I'll flip to another camera after. Let me just get rid of all this packing stuff. And here's watch number 2. And Ralph said that the watches, they're both kind of run for 5 minutes or 10 seconds or something, right? Yeah, and this is packed in another envelope he got from someone else, I think. So that's a nice old watch there too. So what do we have here? Let me just flip cameras so we can have a closer look. I got all kinds of glasses on here, but I don't have my watchmaking glasses on. I'm going to use the camera instead. So there it is there. There's the watch. And it's a Rockford Watch Company, Illinois. So these were American watches. This is a very unique case though. This not sure what I'd call it, but the design of the case here, it looks like this part here might have been soldered on or milled as part of the case. I'm not sure. But the bottom and the top are exactly the same. It has no bail, so I'll have to figure out if I can make or find a bail for this. So it's a very old watch. You can see it's gold filled, but the gold's worn out a bit on the sides, on the edges. And gold filled meant it was kind of gold plated. And pressed on 2 sides of a base metal of some sort, right? So, and there's the case, patent 1884, FAHYS case. So that's not a bad case. Sometimes you can see these things with the light off. Let me just see if I can turn the light off here and get a better look at it. There we go. Less reflection. So there's the watch. It's an interesting watch. What's interesting about this watch, let me get my tweezers out here, is that if you look up the serial number on this watch, it doesn't have these cutouts. The cutout for the pallet fork and the cutout for the escapement wheel. So these 2 cutouts, which makes it kind of interesting. Now, I'm not sure if the balance is good or not. The balance looks like it's good. That's good news, folks, because it's a lot less work if I don't have to make a balance staff. And this thing is wound to the tilt. Somebody went, I wonder if I can wind it even harder. So this is a completely it's not overwound. That's the improper word for it, or term for it. It's not called overwound, but it's wound until you cannot wind it anymore, which means it's the spring in the barrel is tugging away, which means that the ratchet or the click spring holding back the barrel is at its stress point, which means somehow I've got to relieve the stress out of this barrel, which could be a job and a half. So that's this watch here, and that's the Rockford. Is there writing on the bottom there? It looks like there's some writing. Yeah, it just says Rockford, Illinois. So this is a very old watch. That's the serial number if you want to look that up. There's a serial number on the top. It's 190981. 190981. So you can look that up. Let me know what you think of it. And it's heavy. This thing is really heavy. It's a size 18 pocket watch, but it's very heavy. And the balance pivots aren't broken. I'm not sure what shape they're in, but they're not broken. The watch has been, the crown and stem, and it has been wound to its limit. It could be difficult, to unwind it. I got to figure out how to unwind it. Usually there's a button on the side that relieves the mainspring barrel. There's a little click spring in there, and you push in, sometimes with a needle, and that'll unwind it. So we'll do that after. But this is a beast. A beast. I can see why he wants it running again. So we will see what we can do with this watch. It needs to be stripped down and cleaned, and maybe just the cleaning will get it back in working order. Who knows, right? It's got a glass crystal on it. That's fully glass. I don't know if it's lever set. Let me open the crystal here, or there we go. Yes, there is a lever set in mechanism here, so it looks like it is lever set, but it looks like the lever hasn't been pulled out in 200 years. Yeah, that's another problem. The lever is jammed in here. Oh, there we go. Lever moved, and the hands are moving, so that's good. But the lever just needs to be ungummed. This thing has got more gum than Al Pacino. No, it's not a saying, is it? Yeah, there we go. So there's hope, my friends. There's hope. So Ralph out there is good hope for this. So I think this is the first one I'll work on. And let's take a look at the other one while I'm here investigating the package. So this one here, it looks like it's got a major chip in the base of the crystal here. It's got a very nice, chain on it. It's a vintage chain. These chains were usually gold filled as well. I'll have to look for there's a symbol that you can tell whether it's gold filled or not, and sometimes you can see that. It's either that or maybe it's brass. But it's nice. The chain's very nice, so I'll take that chain off the watch. And it's good to just leave this vintage looking. Don't shine it up, don't polish the chain, don't do anything like that. It's better off looking vintage. I learned that years ago when I used to polish all the watches, and I got in shit from the guys that are out there in Watchland. So I'm going to see, first of all, whether this thing here, if I pull the crown out, will it set? Well, the crown won't pull out, so that's number one. This looks like it's hinged. This is a size, geez, I almost want to say 12, eh? It looks like a 12 or 16, but it looks more like a 12 than a 16. So, and luckily today I've got long fingernails. They come in handy sometime when you want to open the back of a watch, or I can just be a little less lazy and get a case back opener and grab one here, if it'll come out. This is not the best case back opener, but it'll work fine for this. So there we go. So that's that. There's no lever here, so it's not lever set. You have to pull this out to set it. It does wind, which is nice. And it does tick for a few seconds. That's always a good sign. The bad sign is I can't pull it out, pull the crown out, which you usually pull the crown and stem out, which engages the setting mechanism. There we go. That's stiff. That'll need oiling. So that feels super gummed up too, but the good news is the thing is ticking right now, which is excellent. And let me look at the rate of its ticking. And this also has a lid on it. So these watches were a gentleman's watch, I'll say, back in the day. Maybe used by a professional or a banker or whatever, but a gentleman's watch with a hinge on it. And there we go, and very carefully open that up. And there it is ticking away. And that, this watch is a Swiss watch, I believe. It would be very, very difficult. Birks and Stone Limited, Henry Birks and Sons Limited, 15 jewels. And it says Swiss. If you look in the bottom right down there, upside down, it says Swiss on it. So this is a Swiss watch. If there were parts missing on this one, I'd probably have to make them, because you would not be able to find the parts for this watch. So we're going to be very careful stripping these watches down because of the rarity of the parts. The Rockford would be a little bit easier because they're a fairly common watch. And I'll look up the Rockford serial number and grade and see if I can find out more information on that watch. So here's the data on the Rockford watch that I found. Manufacturer is Rockford from Rockford, Illinois. And 190981 was the serial number, Model 3, produced in 1883. It is definitely a size 18. This is a heavy movement, or heavy watch and movement. It's in hunting configuration, which is kind of odd because it doesn't look like it's in hunting configuration. It looks like it, oh no, it is. It is in hunting configuration. So if you look at the side here, the crown is at 3 o'clock, so that's hunting configuration. So, and it's not always, when you see a case that's got a lid on it, they call those are hunting watches and stuff. The lidded cases are like this more often because you open the lid up sideways like this and you can see the watch immediately. And so that's a hunting configuration usually. But they did have these watches, like as you can see, that were not in a case with a lid and are in hunting configuration. So that's hunting is when the crown is at the 3 o'clock position. So it is lever set. It's probably not railroad grade because the railroad grade standards were, I believe, 1891 from the Ball Standards, Ball Watch Company, but Ball Standards Company. They didn't make watches, the Ball Company. They established a standard for a railroad grade watch. The accuracy of the watch, the lever set mechanism was very important, which this has, and the amount of the accuracy was reflective of the amount of jewels and everything else too. So typically a railroad grade jewel or watch would be from 19 jewels up to 23. Normally you see them and you say, okay, that's 21 jewel watch, it's railroad grade. But it depends. Could be if it's super accurate and it was 17 jewels, maybe it slipped through the lever set. It might have slipped through the grading and become railroad grade. But anyway, there you go. That's the it's a full plate, it says, which is kind of odd. This is where I was telling you, if I look carefully at this watch, that let me just turn off the display for a second. If I look at this and I look at the plate again, it looks like something's been done with this, because it's not what you would consider a full plate movement if it's got these cutaways, like the cutout for the escapement wheel and the cutout for the pallet fork or whatever is under here. This whole plate, I believe, goes all the way around, but I'll have to see that in disassembly. And this is perhaps a second plate, but that's typically a full plate movement. I've never seen a movement with cutaways like that. If you guys have, let me know. Just put a comment in or just email me at jdwatchservice@gmail.com, jdwatchservice@gmail.com. I'd love to find a gold bail for this to finish it off, so I'll do a hunt for that. I can make a bail, but I'd have to use brass wire, perhaps. I think I've got some brass wire, but we'll see, because it's a pretty hefty size wire in the bail. So I do need to trim my fingernails. The guitar fingernails are okay, but the other nails are a bit too long, so they'll cause me all kinds of issues. So anyway, that's that. So turn on the display again. So the plate, so case various, maybe that's, I don't know, it depends how they case the thing, right? So that's the watch. So it's an 1883 pocket watch. So this is very old, and it's in fairly good condition, even though it doesn't work. It's stiff and it's all gummed up and all that stuff. I think we'll be able to recover this watch. So that's that. Let me put the case back on. It is worn, so it was used a lot. There were service marks on the back, so it was serviced a few times. There's some dents in the back which give it personality. I have taken dents out of a watch, but when you get an old watch like this, it's you don't want to touch the dents. You want it to leave it there because someone's maybe the great grandfather of the owner had this watch, and it was his. Used it for many years. So I like the big crystal. It's in fairly good condition actually. It's a big glass crystal, which is nice. It's not a plastic crystal, so it's all good. So we're going to strip these watches down and clean them and get them going again. But I'm going to see if I can do the big beastie first. It's going to be a bit of a challenge, but we'll get at it, and thanks for watching my videos, and please stay tuned for more. And I'm JD. If you want me to do any work for you, I do this as a hobby. I don't do it to make like revenue for my living, otherwise I'd die. My costs are much higher than the money I make. So, but get a hold of me at jdwatchservice@gmail.com, jdwatchservice@gmail.com, and you see that at the very end of the video. So thanks a lot for watching, and let's stay in touch. Let me move these watches so I can use this clip for my cover. There we go.